Dr. Cella here, and Generation Z doesn't care about that's the way things have always been done. They don't care. They just won't play. We're in a different world. I was just listening to Danny Cannell and McElroy on ESPNU radio, which is the only aspect of ESPN I can possibly listen to at this point in my life. But I listen to them because they're not woke, and pretty much they're having a conversation about player empowerment. Look, if you look at the NFL right now, it's player empowerment. Players are saying they're not going to participate in team activities, quote unquote, because of the virus. College players now have created the situation where they're going to get compensated for their services, and now because of the transfer portal, anytime they don't feel soft, warm, and gooey about their situation, they just can transfer. They can keep entering the transfer portal. If you don't think that stuff's trickling down to high school, guess what it is? And high school kids, they're in it for extrinsic rewards. So, there's got to be incentive, or else you're going to lose your kids. Now, there's different ways of losing your kids. They can transfer to another school, or they can just quit. Usually the types of schools I get, because I get underdogs, it's a lot of times you're trying to keep fringe kids. You're trying to keep your numbers up so that you can have effective practices. Because without effective practices, you're done. If you can't practice effectively, you're done. So, that's the way they've always been done. It's not going to cut it with Generation Z. So what can you do to run a tough program, but yet keep your kids so that you can have a team and win? Okay. I said this in another video, but I'm just going to go ahead and repeat myself for those of you in the back of the room. Number one, if your practices are longer than 90 minutes, you're wrong. Because human beings cannot keep interest and attention in an activity for longer than 90 minutes. Now maybe somebody's got strong will and they can't. They're the exception that proves the rule. So you've got to make certain you're under 90 minutes. Optimum working time is under 90 minutes. I know a lot of you out there can't get a handle on it, but if you notice, a lot of NFL teams are practicing shorter than 90 minutes now. They get it. Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy's been saying this for 10 plus years, and he definitely doesn't get the best players, because Stillwater, Oklahoma is in the middle of nowhere. The second thing is, the practice better be relevant. If you're going to condition your kids to death, and you're not going to rely on functional conditioning, which is the process of running plays to get your kids in shape, you're going to get kids to quit on you. And the kids that aren't allowed to quit because their daddies want them to play football that bad, well, they're just going to try to get you fired. You have to have relevant drills. And relevant drills are running plays. I don't know how many videos I've made saying this, but the specificity of sport is what's going to get you over all these ham and anchors you play against, all these cake eaters, pizza eaters you play against. Running plays is what gets you great fast. The bottom line is this: don't waste your kids' time. They'll quit on you. You can run a tough program. You can beat Billy Badass, but you better do it as you're running plays in practices that are less than 90 minutes. Because if you waste their time and waste their energy, they're going to quit on you, whether it's metaphorical or whether it's outright or whether they transfer somewhere else. That's how you deal with Generation Z.